fine. Yeah, we did part 1 yesterday, which was quite interesting, but still nothing too crazy for, like, my liking. And now we've got the next, is it always 5? Oh no, the last one has 7. Oh, it's gonna be a big day tomorrow. Today we got another 1, 2, 3, 4, another 5 stages. Probably gonna be of the same length as yesterday, so we're just gonna jump straight into it. Literally just gonna jump straight into it. Because we're looking to get story done within a timely manner. As per usual, I'm just gonna preface this all the time. I go into story mode and I do the whole story kind of like in a smooth sequence, commenting along the way. Probably won't interact with chat as much. So hopefully I have the energy for it. Each one takes 10. Yeah, just gonna go through the story. Let's go. Here we go. Also, where we left off yesterday, I can't remember. I cannot remember. It's kind of like shit happened. Everyone died. Everyone's dead. Ooh, we get to play as the Scythe Lady straight away. Ooh, I do like playing as this. Although, not great gameplay, because it's kind of like clunkalicious. Kind of clunkalicious. It's kind of fun to just be playing a new entity. That ability doesn't do anything, by the way. They could have made it a bit smoother. They could have made this this thing's gameplay a bit smoother. What is the context of this, though? See, now I actually don't remember what happened at the end of the first part, because this doesn't feel like it makes sense, but maybe it'll be alright. Oh, that was a cool cut animation. Oh yeah, Sealy is like struggling with the power. And yeah, I just remembered. Sealy's like struggling to like use the power correctly and whatnot. Nah, that makes sense. On top of the tower, the altar for the martyrs had turned into a cage. And inside the cage, she could do nothing but pray. Yes. Lucky that I can still hear and help them. But be it commanding oracles or consoling souls, their help is minimal and they cannot set things right. And as my burden grows, it's okay, Sealy, you don't have to worry about my burden. Since we're doing this, we shall follow through to the end. Is Sealy okay? That's a good question. I'm still holding on. How is it outside? Can't say it's peaceful, but at least we brought some time. Thanks to Assisty, people are going to be alright. Nothing to worry about on my side either. With the Hersha of Sentience around, broadcasting to the ghosts is a piece of cake. That said though, the moonlight is still growing dimmer and dimmer. It's only a matter of time before the first victim appears. Okay, say something that we don't already know. We're here to fix the problem, not break the morale. Both Sealys bought us valuable time, and we can't let it slip by. We need to be constructive in discussion and determine a new solution as soon as possible. Let's cut the chase. Mistleton, you go first. Oh, here we go, Mistleton. You don't have anything to say? I thought you'd have something on the mind, since you were the one of the culprits. And when you put it like that, you'll only make them misunderstand me more. But one thing is for sure, I'll try to share my thoughts with you all, even though you're all more experienced travelers in the Sea of Quantum. And looking back earlier, traveling between the two worlds has made both Sealys, the second sage, independent from the previous one. The coexistence of two sages triggered one of the world's rules and intensified the collapse. And just as the previous sage said, even she herself wasn't fully aware of the rules of all the rules of the world. That is for sure. It's like you said, she's the newborn stigma. How could she possibly know everything? So earlier, we thought the world had become unstable because we broke the rule that there are only one sage at a time. But there was 3 sages at a time, because both Veliona and Sealy and the previous stigma were sages. But what if that's not the case? Are you also trying to say we broke other rules we don't know about? That's a pretty wild guess though. Wild guess or not, the rules governing most natural creations are usually very simple. Just like how the distribution of mass in the universe was decided by quantum fluctuations during the Big Bang, the most complicated natural phenomenon usually result from the iteration, projection, and inversion of a very simple law. Throughout human history, there has been no shortage of such rules of the game. Like Hersha's, the existence of the cocoon finality has also proven that it's not a natural system. Dr. Schrödinger explains it better? Not quite. Not quite. I would say Schrödinger explained it in a more complex manner. To try to explain it simply, it didn't quite work. somehow the Big Bang is involved, but sure. Oh yeah, true, because wasn't the Big Bang caused by like some simple thing? I don't know, probably something like that. But Miss Shigure, aren't you anxious? I try to say, between Salt Snow Holy City and the Country of Iron Sand, there might be a larger rule that's different from the ones for normal bubble universes. A singular rule. There's no such thing as there can't be two sages, or the sage cannot leave the tower, or only the sage can travel between two worlds. Even the fact that the world is collapsing is just a manifestation of that singular rule. There's only been one rule from the beginning. It makes the sage naturally part of the world and also causes the world to collapse. What do you think that rule is? Well, I don't know. Even the former sage who came before us hasn't gotten a clue, so how am I able to figure it out all of a sudden? I'm just trying to say, before we find out that, what the singular rule is, there's no way for us to determine our next move. As for how to do it, that's beyond me. My best guess is, world collapse might result in two bubble universes merging with each other into oblivion. True oblivion. After all you've said, you only came up with a prediction that the world is ending. What a waste of time. What I found was a compass without a pointer. That's not much help. But so I've done all I can. It was me who got you into this mess. I owe you zero help. She's provided zero help, and she's like, yeah, I owe you guys. Let me think if there's anything else to add. I'll start with how I worked my way to bring the two Seelies here. Oh, we're just having a flashback now. You were sent to different bubble universes, right? The former sage said this was to make a template of us and find a way to stop the world from splitting. Yes, the way I penetrated the Sea of Quanta also worked near imaginary singularity in Nagazora. This got me thinking about the singular rule. What I'm trying to point out is, considering the sage's request, I relaxed the permeability of the boundaries. This gave rise to 0015's birth, the death of a certain grey serpent, and... let me put it this way. What the former sage wanted was a template for the harmony between the human and non-human, and you all know the more templates, the better. Besides Miss Seelie Volare, from the Stigma, as far as I know, there's one other friend with the same condition. You're talking about the Sentience lady. I was trying to let it go. How dare you bring it up? That's the way you trap me here? The Mighty Hirsch of Sentience as a backup template? It's not like that. Since it's a template, you are not alone in this case. At the beginning, my plan was to send one of you and Fu Hua to the Salt Snow Holy City and the other to the Country of Iron Sand, just like the two Seelies. But something went wrong. Only you arrived and Fu Hua went missing. Oh. Well, don't worry. I'm not sure what happened, but the failed teleportation shouldn't have hurt her in any way. As for whether she's still in the proper world or teleported somewhere else, I think she should be able to handle it either way. I'd be concerned if she couldn't. Well, that's true. The old-timer wouldn't let herself be set up by goons like you. Assuming the old-timer not ending up in Salt Snow Holy City has something to do with the singular rule. Yep. The difference between you and Fu Hua, and between the two of you and the two Seelies, might be the first key to the singular rule. And the different experiences of the two Seelies in two worlds, that's the second key. What you said is very inspiring, but with these unfounded theories, it's incredibly hard to prove the existence of the singular rule, let alone figuring out what it really is. Indeed, we need to know more. Which is to say, the only way to protect the world order, and at the same time carry out an investigation... Ugh, too much work. Susanna, have you been following what they're talking about? Because I haven't been. I'm in the dark as you are, Vita. Aren't you their partner? The only official Valkyrie? When you put it like that, I feel like I should apologize to you. Perhaps there is a third key to the singular rule, but I don't have it. There's someone among us, who has kept from us something they know. Everyone points at Kira. I will certainly take responsibility for leading you into danger. However, who followed Prometheus and me into this world all the way from the Sea of Quanta? Who attempted to murder me at first sight, clearly due to some mission or vocation? It was you, Kira, the real criminal. Who hid their real purpose of coming here from you and kept accusing Prometheus and me of everything? I knew I hated Kira. You haven't shown us your hand of cards, unreservedly, have you? The assassin from the Sea of Quanta. Shiguri Kira. Knew it. I knew Kira was a sus idiot. I knew I didn't like her. All eyes, calm, cautious, confused, fell on Shiguri Kira. Have you any objections, Miss Shiguri? Feel free to defend yourself. Of course I'm gonna say something. But though I hate to admit it, what you said does make some sense. Yes, I've kept something about myself from all of you here. Something about yourself? Yes. Before, I wasn't sure if I had anything to do with the two bubble universes we were in. I know this sounds like a bad excuse. I was trying to find a way to tell you all this. After all, since we got into the tower, everyone has been busy, right? Busy? That's a pretty convenient reason. Don't mind her, she's just meticulous. Susanna trusting Kira. Two sus people. She's been helping us ever since we got into this bubble universe, and she's given us a lot of practical suggestions. Besides, everyone has a past, and it's very normal if we don't want to bring it up. No. Lay it all bare. You are all so gullible. I knew Kira was a fucking freak, dude. I knew it. Just a fucking cringe lord. Now everyone got tricked. Aren't we supposed to stay together through tears and hold our friendship and trust above all? You've been watching too many dramas. Stupid. As a Shixel Valkyrie, you should be less trusting and more careful than that. Yes, you're right. I don't get how you could trust me so blindly. Next time I see Teresa, I'll ask her how you turned out this way with all her training. And just as she was grumbling, she reached out her hands and rubbed Celia and Susanna's hair. Cringe. A typical teen drama. What's with the laughing and shouting? Don't leave us out. Back to business. Okay, I'm going to share with you what I know and what I went through about half a year ago. But she gave Mistalin a hostile glare. I can leave the room, Shigure, but you know I can still hear you from far away. From far away. Since you're probably not my target, it won't hurt to let you listen. Everything started with a dead bubble universe. This looks 10 times worse than I expected. So the Elder wasn't just worrying over nothing. If nothing else, he was being conservative. Oh, that's Nigarath. Nice. She looks nice. Oh, what? What? Oh, I just fell through the map. Nice. Good game, good game. Oh, she looks nice. Oh no. Like, don't look at me all the... Oh, come on. Can't really get a frontal because she keeps turning, but she looks cool. If we enter combat, maybe she'll have, like, we'll see her weapon. I wasn't expecting to see her. Oh god, Jesus Christ. Hey, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream, man. Sorry, I can't read your name, but welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Then a match for you, plus something. I didn't read that part. Looks like you've gotten even... Oh, so that means Nigarath is very powerful. She's acknowledging someone else's strength. Interesting. Also, we are just fighting AFO enemies. Obviously, that's a mad leak teaser, whatever you want to call it. Foreshadow, we're just fighting AFO enemies. Oh, shit. AFO enemies. Very cool. That's a nice way to introduce the AFO enemies. Or, is that... I can't even tell if that's Fu's voice actor. Oops, something's wrong with her fucking hips here, though. Jesus Christ, she's got a mad indent in her, like, body. Jesus. All taken care of. Kira and I rock. I don't think you made much of a difference. Any signs of life? She began to sniff around Krezzy like a police dog. You're not brown sugar anymore, and this is not how you retrieve information as a human. Don't sweat it, as long as it works. And I'm unable to detect anything that could be called living other than these guys. Niggurath kicked an unresponsive construct. These monsters, could it be? That's right. Their shapes and structures might be different, but they obviously share the same origin with them. Just as Elder Konpeito suspected. Probably a manga reference thing. Candy House. The home of the exiled race, the Sugars. Their last sanctuary. Apart from their own and a few friends, no one can find this small little bubble universe kept away from all worldly troubles. Elder Konpeito is actually, is always punctual. How come he has kept us waiting this long? Who knows? But Kohakuto told me Elder Konpeito looked very worried ever since he used the egg roll astroscope. Yeah, maybe he's just old. Yeah, that's true. It's not good to badmouth someone behind their back. Crystal Sugar. Is that... I think that's Kira. Because Niggurath was brown sugar. And Kira is crystal sugar. Okay. He finally come! Kira, sorry, turned around and looked to see who was there, while Niggurath deftly transformed back into Sugars and leapt on top of her shoulder. Sorry, I kept you? So what was hold up? What was the hold up? You had us waiting for so long. As hot-headed as ever? But it's alright, it's something urgent and there's no time for small talk. Listen here, Elder Konpeito, what's so urgent? Brown sugar, crystal sugar, I need you to head to a special bubble universe and check something there that worries me. Candy House needs a new anchor? No, that bubble universe has nothing to do with our race. It's been destroyed for a while, actually. But it's a dangerous trip, and I need our best fighters on this mission. Right now, you're the only combat-specialized Sugars standing by in the Candy House. I've got no problem with that, but is it really urgent, given that the world has, or was destroyed years ago? It is, because we found it too late. Depending on the outcome of your investigation, the survival of the Sugars might be at stake. Whoa, that's huge. I'm not exaggerating. Whoever destroyed the bubble universe might be connected to our greatest enemy. The horrible Sky People. A manga reference, again, for those who haven't read, I believe it's like the Alien space manga. They destroyed the first home of Sugars. Yes, they are the plague. They came uninvited and drained our planet to the last drop. Elder Konpeito called them the Galactic Pirates, but I think Galactic Cockroaches suits them better. They're weak individually, but their ability to replicate is outrageous. I remember, Sugars built the Candy House to escape from them, right? Yes, they did. And when you see one cockroach in the cupboard, there must be dozens hiding everywhere else. But the Candy House was built before Elder Konpeito was born, right? Well, more like Jurassic period in Earth's terms. But why are the Sugars still afraid of the Sky People? Because it's a fucking cockroach, what? It was just, you just used the analogy. It's ancient history now. If the Sky People's ambition is matched by their ability, they should have come to Earth and replicated themselves all over by now. But that hasn't happened yet, which means Sugars are perfectly safe in the Candy House and there's no need to worry. But didn't we just find something similar to them in the Sea of Quanta? And from another reason? There seem to be weak electrical signals coming from that way, which is by no means characteristic of these monsters. Traces left behind by the civilization, big word, maybe. Let's go check it out. Yeah, I didn't read the Alien Space manga, so I'm not really too interested in the space people. What are they called? Sky people? Space? Sky people. I'm not overly interested in them. That's why I've kind of feigned interest in this in this portion, and a lot of the Afro stuff. I've kind of feigned interest. The Sky People's bodies are mechanical, so just as we Sugars have an animal form, they should have some form of mechanical. But if they've had such advanced tech all these years, why have such primitive methods of getting energy and replicating? The Elder One said that the Sky People were designed into being, which is why their civilization and technology are so out of sync. This is also kind of the terrain of the moon. What kind of entity do you think could create a group of interstellar hunters? Who would create a bunch of interstellar hunters? That's a great question, actually. Who would do that? Who would do that? It's so crazy. Do 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 do. 66K, wow. Oh no, this is actually just the template of the moon. Never mind. Now I see this elevator. It's just the moon, but brown and like yellow. We're here. The signal is coming from behind this gate, which I don't actually think is a gate, but an elevator. But I guess that could be a door. Sure. An architecture. It's been kept intact. Let's head inside. And inside we'll find the One Ring to rule them all. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. There's a bit of a Lord of the Rings happening here. I don't see a switch anywhere. Is it open from the inside? Oh, watch your feet. There's a pressure plate. Oh, you're dead. Oh. Yokoso. Is it Otto? Please be Otto. It would be funny if it was Otto, so... is this a hologram? Ladies, welcome to the last home at Miracle Park Atlas. Although, there's 100 more of such homes, huh? That's apocalyptic humor for you. I'm your guide, Atlas's manager, electrical engineer, teacher, chef, hairdresser, doctor, therapist, and good neighbor, Charter. My name's Charter. What a shit name. Goddamn. Every charter now in the world is looking at me. Funny. That's right, any job in the park is my job. I even set my own pay. Totally not rigging the system, eh? This guy must be roaring drunk when he took the video. Leaving his personality aside, we might learn the past of this bubble universe from this video. That depends on its length, though. Without further ado, let's go on a magical journey. Okay. A magical journey. Are we turning into magical Powerpuff Girls or whatever? Ooh, oh, that was 36 done. Wow. This is surprisingly quick. This is cool, though. That's a life support pod. No. More like some kind of bionic computer. Looks like people in this bubble universe are capable of information age equivalent technologies, or at least they were. Well then, are you ready, ladies? What I'm offering you is a journey to witness precious historical records from the Golden Age. Can't wait to find out. We'll just press the button over there. What do you mean by journey? Can't wait to find out. Just press the button. Watch out, Kira. I don't like the way this guy sounds. Uh-huh. Yeah, the last time that I think life pods, or kind of like a life pod system, was mentioned was at the end of the Elysian Realm stuff, when we were finding out the history of the like who survived out of the flame chases. I think that was the last time life pods and shit like that were mentioned. The Golden Age goes to fucking what's the city called in the game? Sky City? Night City? Amazed by the immersive experience, aren't you? The holographic device we prepared for the journey comes from the greatest virtual reality image designer, Lawrence. He died in the extractor explosion accident in Star Rock Era 195, but that sadness is all behind us now. Welcome to the Coal Era 1182. I bet you won't want to say no to cheering crowds, lots of laughter, and ice cream on the parade float, will you? Well, looks like he restored a moment in the Bubble Universe's history with a holographic image, which means the Deadland we just saw was once a lively and prosperous like this. That gives me goosebumps. But in a way, that's the norm in this universe. What are you waiting for? Join the happy crowd and share in their joy. Okay. Ah yes, I enjoy talking to old people. That's definitely a very joyous experience. Hello. Are you two here to do? Are you here for the celebration? What are we celebrating? You don't know what's going on? You must love big crowds. We're celebrating the Planet Recon team finding a new energy source to replace fossil fuel. A new energy source. It comes from the ore called Star Rock. It's safe, stable, efficient, and can last lifetimes. I'm gonna make the assumption. It wasn't safe. It wasn't stable. Probably was efficient. Probably can last a lifetime. But definitely not safe or stable. That's my prediction. Very soon people won't have to queue for gas. How can we not celebrate such a great thing? I see, thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a prediction that it wasn't safe or stable. Hello ladies, ain't the greatest day of all? Well, today the greatest of all. Because of the Star Rock, right? Energy concerns everyone here, I guess. The man squinted at them as if they were dinosaurs. You must be Outlanders. There aren't a lot of your kind here, but we do get them from time to time. Is energy important? Of course! Without energy, how can we keep the lights on? How can we make the machines do our bidding? And how can the Planet Recon team explore new homes? Fear imperceptibly flashed past the man's eyes, suppressing his fervor. No reason to be so grim during a moment like this. The float is coming soon. Why don't you go outside, or two outsiders hop on and take a tour? I guess what's a child gonna tell us? Oh, she's the enemy? Oh no. I thought the child was about to kill us. What? Whoa. These monsters are just a part of the show. I have Lawrence to thank for how good they look. Oh. I was about to enter combat. It's time our planetary guardians make their debut. Please enjoy watching them defend their home and their people. Oh wait, I control this guy. Oh wow. I will say though, I wish MiHoYo with Honkai Impact took a bit more risks with the enemy design. I'm kind of getting bored of like every good guy being this like playable like white robot, and every kind of enemy always being the same looking quantum enemies. I feel like if they maybe took some risks with the design, they could like look a bit more interesting. Because I didn't want to play the mech, to be honest. The security force cleared up the monsters in their mechas, and order soon returned to the celebration. People seemed to be accustomed to this sort of thing and stayed calm for the most part. Are you alright, child? I forgot these were only images from the past. Nothing can happen to you now. The guards keep us safe every time. The guards? The people who came with the mechas. And as soon as monsters show up, they always come to our rescue and take the monsters down. Dad told me if monsters show up again, the mecha force won't have the power to fight them since we're running out of energy. The guards might not be able to keep us safe. But things have turned around. Dad just said we found a new source of energy and the guards can keep us safe again, just like that. I see. But still, it's dangerous for you to be alone. Be a good girl and go back to your dad, alright? Alright. The girl waved her hand and ran off. Any new findings? Kind of. First of all, this bubble universe, let's call it the Fallen Star. Nigarath shrugged contently. The Fallen Star falls into the more complete type of bubble universe. It has considerate space, population, and even the look of a full planet. It's way smaller than the Earth, though. On the other hand, civilization here has advanced to the level where they become aware of the crisis they're faced with. Due to the bubble universe's seclusion, it won't be able to sustain itself for long. Generally, isolated bubble universe are like dandelions floating in the wind. The Fallen Star cannot survive long on its own. I'm afraid Star Rock will run out someday too. Energy crisis? Would this be the Fallen Star's downfall? Well, no. If that's the case, we can't explain why the Sky People's creations are here. Kira walked to Charter, who was standing by the side. And we finished this clip, could you play the next one? Of course! From the Era 199. I always stay positive despite my bad luck. The records of Star Rock Era 199 are special and might cause some minor discomfort. Are you sure you want to go? Yeah. Here we go. This is the death. Everyone's dead now. He's dead. This is Charter's death. No! He was interesting. No! Charter! It's him! It's the goat! Oh, Charter. God damn it. The projection has been altered. That guy has gone missing. Hmm. Nowhere to be found. Maybe something's wrong with the projector. Is this Charter now? No. Why haven't you sought shelter yet? If Extractor 03 strikes it big, you'd be buried here in a minute. Hit the jackpot. Are you not from here? Now tell us what happened. What else could be? The Star Rock extractors exploded again. Is it maybe because it wasn't safe and it wasn't stable? Maybe it was because they weren't safe and they weren't stable, hey? Hey. You seem to have mentioned this before. I'm not an expert at all. All you need to know is that they are machines used to extract energy from the Star Rock. If they're so dangerous, why use them in the first place? They're no danger at all. What's dangerous is the Star Rock itself. Is it now? Interesting. I knew it wasn't safe or stable. I knew it! Foreshadowing like crazy, calling it safe and stable. Ah, good. I love being able to predict a story. It's safe and stable and efficient and can last a lifetime. Wait. Before Kira could finish, the guard waved his hand and left in a hurry. That's weird. If the guy named Charter doesn't show up, will we be trapped here forever? Go look around and see if there's anyone else here. I knew. So predictable. So predictable, Mihoyo. Boom, buddy. Boom, buddy, boom. Hello. Knock, knock. Check this terminal out. It can be accessed without any special permission. He's back. Nice. What? Where have you been, Shatter? Okay, what's up? It seems like you also wanted us to check out this terminal. You're saying they came out of nowhere? Dr. Ashley, do we know that name? I'm not sure. Yes, Dr. Ashley. As of yesterday, the Star Rocks weren't in Warehouse 012, and at least 5 workers can attest to that, but the security cameras are even better proof. By the gods! As you can see, Dr. Ashley, these Star Rocks appeared in the vacant space in the blink of an eye. Do we inform the guards? No. Let me think. Right, we need to verify it. I don't understand. After half a year of dedicated research and so many experiments, why is Star Rock under the influence of such unscientific and supernatural factors? This explains why we never discovered them during the age of fossil fuel. But how is this possible? Star Rock comes into being at people's wishes? Eesh. This is not good. This is not looking too good, boys. The planet recon team is disbanding? Yes, the ecosystem on the surface has sustained severe and irreversible damage due to the frequent Star Rock explosions. For us, living on the surface has become a luxury, let alone exploring the stars. Kid, I'm sorry. I know you've always dreamed to join the planet recon team. It's all our fault. We thought Star Rock was the cure to everything, and gave up all other possibilities. We thought we found a shortcut, but it turned out to be a dead end. Dr. Ashley. Don't give up. I can't join the planet recon team, but I can still help you study Star Rock. Once we figure out why Star Rock emerges at a person's wish and why it explodes without any sign, we should be able to... You always look at the bright side, kid. But please promise me, don't go down the same road I have. Dr. Ashley. When I was young, I believed if I dedicated myself to researching Star Rock, our planet could have survived, or could have been saved. But looking back at the years of hard work, I suddenly found my understanding of Star Rock never grew, just like everyone else at the Institute. Star Rock is like the same kind of divine prank. It's unreasonable, illogical, but so real that we can't see anything else. I don't understand. Kid, I really don't. I feel like I'm blocked away from the truth by an invisible wall, while some trickster god mocks me from the other side. Foreshadowing. Dr. Ashley, are you alright? I'm fine, good kid. Heed my advice and stop looking for the elusive Star Rock. Go follow Dr. Owen to learn intelligent systems, or intern with Dr. Fred and study underground shelters. Is Atlas going to be under construction soon? Try holding on to something that you can grasp, Charter. Oh, there he is. That seems to be the records left behind by Star Rock researchers on the Fallen Star. Seems like the substance called Star Rock was not as safe as it was believed to be. It can explode for no reason at all. Well, the apocalyptic planet's surface that we saw was the result of that. But why did the Fallen Star people keep using Star Rock as energy? It's like digging your own grave. I'm afraid they ran out of choices. They had perished away without the mysterious ore. That research lady was right. It blinded them to all other possibilities. That's right. Aside from that goddamn ore that's going to get us all killed someday, we got nothing else. Yeah, I knew he was sus. I felt like this, when he, like, auto-played his record, I think he's, like, actually a person or some shit. He, like, actually can talk to you. I've got some questions, and if possible, we wish to help you and the other survivors on this planet. You have a good heart, lady, but I think you came a little bit too late for this dead planet. He tried to make himself, like, look like a recording, but he's just not a recording. Follow me, please. What are you showing us this time? The planet's last breath. In your terms, the last day for the people on the Fallen Star. Yeah, I had a suspicion that he wasn't a recording. Oh, we're up to the final stage already. Jesus. Time will turn back to the last night of Star Rock Era 199. By the way, allow me to invite my neighbors. They're all in just like a terrifyingly scared position. Who are they? Just like me, they were once residents of the underground shelter Atlas. And we built hundreds of such shelters, for the surface was no longer inhabitable. At the same time, the shelter's special structure could also help contain Star Rock explosions. At least, that was its intended design, but in reality, nothing we had could withstand the impact of Star Rock explosions. The brutal power, you could call it a sort of torrent of destiny. But it really isn't necessary for me to describe it to you, because you'll soon see it with your own eyes. Charter tapped the terminal screen a few times, and soon after, an image was projected before them. The screen was static and it emitted a chaotic sound. Hey! Why haven't you sought shelter yet? If Extracted 03 strikes it big, you'd be buried here in a minute. Has anyone seen my child? Alan? Or Aline? I don't know. Check out the emergency broadcast. The central extractor on Uranus has just exploded. And Phoebe, 2 explosions everywhere. Don't push me. Get off. I told you Star Rock was a curse. Divine retribution. The day has finally come. We need to get to the shelter. Didn't you hear the guards? Where can we run? The goddamn Star Rock warehouse and extractors everywhere. Go underground. If the explosions trigger chain reactions, then... boom. Death. What's this? The last evening of Star Rock Era 199. 11 past 5, less than 7 hours away from the new year. Of all the Star Rock extractors and warehouses in 101 underground shelters, 98% exploded after the hour hand reached 5. Like volcanic eruptions, the explosions destroyed most of the shelters in an instant, vaporizing everything within them and tearing the surface apart. When it was over, the Fallen Star turned into what you see now. A desolate wasteland. A bubble of the universe's unnatural death. What is this? Star Rock. I've never heard of anything this dangerous in the Sea of Quanta. It was mentioned in the records that it came from wishes, but what does it mean? Literally, what it means. Can you be... So what does it mean by it comes from wishes? Literally what that means. Can you be more specific? What? Come on, man. Let's say the Star Rock reserve of a certain shelter is running out, and anything running on it is going to stop. In this case, when the people in the shelter open up the warehouse the next day, they're very likely to see restocked reserves. It really appears out of nowhere? How is that even possible? It's absurd to even in the Sea of Quanta. Makes absolutely no sense at all. Could it all be the Hershra authority from the imaginary side? Charter, is there any Star Rock reserve in the shelter left? Kira? What are you doing? If we can bring back a piece to Elder Compate... Kira's not the brightest, is she? If we can bring back a piece to Elder Compato and the others, then maybe... But Charter's expression soon snuffed out her hope. Unfortunately, when the great explosion happened, all the Star Rock on the planet vanished, like it was consumed as fuel. Just like how it showed up out of the blue right after the age of coal ended, it was gone without any trace. How are you so sure? How can you be certain all the Star Rock went missing? You're not really the boy we saw with Dr. Ashley, right? He couldn't have survived this long. And Dr. Ashley had mentioned something about intelligence systems. Very keen observation. It's true. I'm a digital copy of the great Dr. Charter. This was the only way I could keep protecting the survivors for him in this grim, grim world. But as you can see, there isn't a single survivor left on this planet now. Sorry? Oh, you're not to blame. Before you came, I had already lost my reason for being, but it was only just now that I had learned the reason why fate spared me, the information integration system of Atlas. Not far away, some kind of machine seemed to be running quietly. What's that sound? Haha, so much for sadness. After all, today will be go down in history and be remembered forever. 167 years after the great explosion, Atlas finally opened its welcoming arms to 2 new residents. You're not talking about us, are you? We do sympathize with you, but there's no reason for us to stay here. No. The dark clouds of the past have cleared up. A new era has come for our planet to restore its former glory. Oh my god. That's kind of creepy. He doesn't look right. He doesn't look right in the head. Crank! The heavy machine sound became louder and louder. So Charter has done something. He is something, or he has done something. He's the mastermind, or he's a pawn in the chessboard? No, he's a cog in the... I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words at this point that don't make sense. He's a cog in the wheel. No, that doesn't make sense. He's a cog in the watch. He's a piece of the puzzle. I hate English, man. It's so difficult. My man's dodged the goddamn thing. Oh. Can't stop the guests from dancing. Oh yeah, this is probably connected to some sort of higher power. Looks like he's run out of storage. Oh, hello. He kind of died in a really funny position, though. Does he mean anything special to Charter? Kira lowered her body and picked up a slip by the man. Meanwhile, the two finally got a clear look at the man's face. Exactly the same as Charter. I'm afraid this is the real Dr. Charter. Kira unfolded the slip, revealing a pen with the engraving of V. On the paper, there was a scribble in a foreign language, clearly unfinished. With a heavy heart, Kira used her sugar's ability. The word seemed to make some sort of motto. It started and ended with forever. And so, using the language of this world, she completed Charter's motto. Just when she dropped the pen, mechs everywhere. This looks like a new render. Is this new? This doesn't look like the actual mechs. This looks like a kind of like a new render. Or something, a new like... Oh, it looks a bit different. It looks like they've just made it... Oh, nice. The scenery looks a lot better. With the other mechs actually looking like very nice. Okay, nice. Oh, we're back. What did the message say, by the way? I don't know if we saw that. Where are you going, Kira? Wait for me. Wait up. I'm going back to the candy house, Nigarath. There's nothing more we can do in this bubble universe. Candy house, home of the Sugars. Back from the Fallen Star, Kira and Nigarath met Elder Competo and reported what they saw. Hey, listen here, Elder Competo. I can hear you, quiet. But you've been silent for nearly 10 minutes after hearing our report. Such an important matter requires careful consideration. It's not a big deal. The Fallen Star had creatures similar to the Sky People, but their extinction had nothing to do with the Sky People. Besides, they went extinct more than a century ago. Honestly, I feel like it was a waste of time. You absolute insolent fools. You have to dig beneath the surface. Can't you see something is wrong with the Star Rock that brought about the world's demise? Having kept silent for a long time, Kira suddenly raised a question that seemed out of place. Elder Competo, is Star Rock some kind of weapon? You're most observant, Brown Sugar. Oh, you're more observant than Brown Sugar, but not quite there yet. Weapon? No, that isn't its weapon. It's? What if I tell you there have been many other bubble universes that were destroyed just like the Fallen Star? It wasn't quite the self-inflicted damage or the ebbs and flows of the Sea of Quanta. They were simply wiped out by an invisible malice. Clearly hidden beneath the rules, the malice looks almost natural and justified. What if I tell you things like this have been happening in certain dimensions all along? This malice, is that it? But what is it indeed? We don't know its name, and neither do we know whether it has a name, body, or mind. Even a short glimpse of it among the waves of the sea doesn't come easy. What else do we know? The true abyss of the Sea of Quanta. Sa. Sa. Okay, interesting name. The true abyss of the Sea of Quanta. Sa. I'm done speaking. I've laid my hand of cards bare. Vita looks not surprised or shocked. Seely looks desperately terrified. Misthalin looks as attractive as ever. Susanna is confused, as per usual. And Prometheus probably doesn't care, like always. Everyone fell silent, quietly taking in the story told by Kira. The Sugars race, the Sky People, the Dead Bubble Universe Fallen Star, and Sa, the abyss of the Sea of Quanta. That's too much to process. Wait a second, I'll take some notes. What do you reckon, Prometheus? During her account, subject Shigure Kira's breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, and skin humidity all remained normal. I estimate there's a 92.6% chance that she's speaking the truth. Even though what she said still feels like a dark fairy tale. But I find it kind of interesting. After the Great Eruption, the world turned too peaceful and boring. It's high time we have some fun fighting aliens. Senti, shut the fuck up. I told you might find it hard to believe, didn't I? If the situation didn't call for it, I wouldn't have told you this and add to your trouble. But do the horrible things you told us have anything to do with the situation of Salt Snow Holy City and the country of Iron Sand? Yes. Both worlds are collapsing, or one has collapsed, and then this one is fucking collapsing by some sort of unknown... Oh, Susanna, you just can't put two and two together. According to Elder Competo, what happened to the Fallen Star, the unnatural, premature death of a bubble universe, was no exception. Based on a lot of observation, Elder Competo found out such abnormal bubble universes were growing in number in the Sea of Quanta. Are you suggesting the black and white bubble universes fall into the same category? Yes. In fact, it was exactly because Elder Competo saw some early signs that I came to Salt Snow Holy City alone, and tried to figure out what was going. I'm assuming going on. Your partner by the name of Nigarath, didn't she come too? The Sugars are known for their cautiousness, but I guess I'm an exception. From a historic point of view, without the cautiousness, Sugars couldn't have survived this far. Elder Competo is adamant in keeping his people away from danger, and Nigarath had to follow his orders. Oh. So you... Well, I snuck out on my own, any problem? I'm not prepared to see the tragedy of the fallen star falling on other bubble universes. Oh, Kira, so righteous. Anyway, if there's something accelerating the death of a bubble universe, if Sa does exist, I need to kill it as soon as possible. The thought kept lingering in my mind and got me restless, so that's why I set out. Sealy Susanna, looks like I'm the wrong one to lecture you. Oh, that's so cool. So that's why you tried to assassinate Mistolin, rather. You mistook her for the disciple of Sa. Well, she couldn't feel more inhuman. It was impossible not to suspect her. And when you threaten, that's not how you spell threatening. Weren't you threatening? Oh, there always has to be a typo. There always has to be a typo. Weren't you threatening? The hotel owner? You two didn't look like the good guys at all. Oh, it breaks my heart to hear how you think of us. We were just asking friendly questions. I won't buy it. My reputation suffered collateral damage. Well, back to the business. Miss Shigure, according to what you confessed, the two bubble universes we're in are subject to some kind of twisted rule. Correct. The spatial contrast of the two bubble universes, the spiritual beings in Country of Iron Sand having memories of Salt Snow Holy City, and the merging of the two worlds mentioned by Mistolin, they all point to the same conclusion. But we're not talking about the proper world. In special spaces like the bubble universes, absurdity can be reasonable. Well, I get you, but Dr. Schrodinger, you're trying to say these weird events might just be the norm here? We can't rule out that possibility. I had thought this was possible too, but Elder Compato's observation spans a very long period. He had watched this place before civilization was born in the proper world. Thanks to him, I got to know a fact. At these coordinates, there was once only one bubble universe. Which is to say, Salt Snow Holy City and Country of Iron Sand, one of them took shape only after the observation. One bubble universe turning into two? Was the other one born? And that's not the most puzzling part, actually. Elder Compato also found the energy level of the two bubble universes had doubled. Do you know what it means? It means it wasn't the original bubble universe splitting into two. It was a complete bubble universe coming out of nowhere. Correct. Weird. That's completely against the conservation of energy principle. Indeed, even in the bizarre state of quanta, events like this are hard to imagine. Well, just one moment. So what they've just said is that something has gone against the laws of physics, of no energy creation. Kind of, not contradicting, but kind of going against the whole scientific basis of a lot of the stuff in Honkai. Very unusual thing to say, or kind of structure the story like this, that something was just created. Maybe it's not the final answer, but at least a hint at it, of it just being created, when the whole game is based in scientific, it has a scientific basis. Very odd move, Mihoyo, very odd, but power to you. That's right! And such a thing had happened one more time in the story I just told. Are you referring to the star rock found by people on the Fallen Star? According to what Nigarath and I had found on the Fallen Star, Star Rock was never found by people there before Coal Era 1182. But just that year, when their fossil fuel was about to run out, this mineral was found underground and in large quantities. That's too much of a coincidence. And the mineral is packed with energy. I see, another example of energy coming out of nowhere. I think I get it now. For the Fallen Star, a suspicious new mineral was discovered, and very soon the planet was destroyed in the explosion caused by this mineral. For the black and white bubble universes, one became two, and merging started to happen for unknown reasons. Looks like destruction can also be expected. You're saying the two are alike in certain ways, right? She nods. From sudden multiplication to certain destruction, can we say if Sa does exist and these bubble universes are under its influence, the flowing of energy might be the rule. But rule or not, making a bomb enough to destroy a world or creating a new bubble universe requires massive energy. Energy of this level can easily surpass the maximum output of most metamorphed Herschel individuals. Nice. And to pull it off, in multiple bubble universes, as far as I know, such a divine feat can only be accomplished by a cocoon of finality. Yeah, hey, it's getting even more absurd. How can there be another cocoon in the Sea of Quanta? Well, if that's the case, I'm not afraid, but you guys can't make another Kiana at short notice, can you? That was a good joke, come on. Ah, come on, you can't meet that with silence. That was a good joke. Oh, come on. What do you mean it didn't soften the atmosphere? That's a good joke. Well, just pop out another Kiana. The joke didn't soften up the atmosphere. Instead, it revealed a remote but terrifying possibility and rendered everyone silent. What is it, Sealy? If Sa did make the rule for Salt's No Holy City and the Country of Iron Sand to be destroyed, the people here, they won't live. Hey, Vita is still with us now. I'm just speaking the truth, buddy. If Sa does have the authority to change the rules of bubble universes and power to match the cocoon, then these two worlds are destined for destruction. Vita is not shocked. I wonder why. Unless... Dr. Schrodinger, you have a way to save the two bubble universes? Mr. Lin brought up the cocoon of finality, and it reminded me of a possibility, a not very practical way. Someone once made it work, so I won't say it's not possible at all. Just get to the point. I'm getting there. The way I said is to anchor a bubble universe to an external point like Durandal did. Of course, we don't have the Holy Blade to help us, but theoretically, there are more stable anchor points than spatial weapons from the previous era. Hershges. I can do that. How come even myself didn't know that? Whatever. I know you can't, at least not now. That's why I said it's not very practical. Your Hershge core is a fixed point projected by the cocoon onto the proper world, so the stability it can provide is also limited to the proper world. Here you need to touch the moon rocks just like the people in the black world, which is proof enough. So to replicate Durandal's feat, the Hershge authority we need should either transcend all dimensions or stand fully independent of the proper world. In other words, the only one that can do it is, perhaps, Sealy. Kiana herself, who's equal to the cocoon, or a Hershge born in the Sea of Quanta. But that's a paradox, right? Sealy chimes in. Have you seen my back? I've got some etchings there that were born in the Sea of Quanta. Aye, that was part 2. That was a surprise. That was 1 hour. I think part 1 was like 2 hours. But I think there was it's like a lot less information in part 2. But the information is a lot cooler. So Star Rock is destroying shit, and some guy called Sa, the abyss of the... What was he called again? The Sea of Quanta's abyss? Or the abyss of the Sea of Quanta? Whatever he was called, I don't remember. So that's pretty cool. Sa. I think there's a lot more information here that would make sense if you've read the manga Alien Space Aliens? What's it called? Journey to Space? It's one of Honkai Impact's mangas, like something about aliens. I think if you've read that, you understand a lot more of the basis of what's this, like who these characters are, like Kompeito, Nigarath, Kira, and whatnot, and potentially like the Sky People. But as I haven't read that, I have no idea what's happening for the most part. But I do find it a bit odd that creation is happening, and I think if it continues to be like that, is that in part 3, which we'll do part 3 tomorrow, which is this one, Lone Tower, Fallen Star. If it is just creation happening, it's kind of gone against what MiHoYo does, which is MiHoYo tends to, in Honkai Impact, base a lot of their storytelling in physics and, like, actually quantum science and whatnot, right? And so if they've just kind of created a thing where, someone just creates things out of nothing, I think it would kind of go against their storytelling philosophy. No, you got Kiana there doing more. They don't really do a great job of not like teasing their story and kind of spoiling it, because I wasn't expecting Kiana to be involved, but now Kiana's apparently involved or something. That's unfortunate that you can just get spoiled like that, but oh well. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Slightly more interesting chapter, or sorry, act. Slightly more interesting. Chapter 38's becoming a bit better. And with a few of these teaser images that we're seeing for Act 3, sorry, it looks to be kind of cool. But Act 3 is a 7-parter, so it's going to take a bit longer. But we're not going to be doing that today. We're not going to be doing part 3 today. Today we're just going to be doing part 2, and then tomorrow we'll be will be part 3.